up, guys? I am Mike Mohammed, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about just honestly, after playing this game quite a bit, I've put about 33 or so hours now into Pokemon Sword, almost at the end of the game for my playthrough. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about this game after having spent so long with it. And let me say this, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan in the world. I think I've given almost every generation of Pokemon a shot. I've tried most of the games. I've enjoyed quite a few of them. In my opinion, Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, Ruby, Sapphire, Black, White, X and Y was one of my most recent favorite. And I didn't really get too much into Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon, but all things considered, man, after playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, let me just say this. The first time, too, I saw the trailer for this game, I remembered being immensely disappointed that it wasn't going to be like a Breath of the Wild tier reinvention of the series, that it looked like it was just going to be random encounters. Of course, later on, we find out there's the wild area and there's tons of overworld Pokemon, but that's a different kind of realization. I'm glad they took that element from Let's Go, but I was just overall disappointed that it looked like a fairly ordinary Pokemon game. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, after playing through this game, you can't tell me at this point that Pokemon Sword and Shield does not do a lot of things differently from most games in this series. I, I just in terms of not only the wild area, but like just the variety of Pokemon. If you're one of those people who where the whole Dexa thing really ruined everything for you, I guess I'm sorry that that's such a big factor for you, and that you won't play this game if you decided to skip out on it. But yeah, man, like after playing through this game, and the way I look at it is 400 monsters, and then there's gonna be two more wild areas as DLC with 200 more Pokemon. That already seems like a lot of Pokemon, man. That's like already 600 something Pokemon in total, or 400 at least with the base game. That already seems like a lot of Pokemon. I've caught over 100 Pokemon in this game so far. After putting in like 30 something hours, I imagine to catch all 400 would take at least 100 hours, probably something close to that. Like, I don't know, man. It seems like there's a good amount of Pokemon here in terms of providing gameplay and variety and fitting the setting of like Scotland, UK, Britain. All in all, I gotta really like give like some congratulations to Game Freak in terms of like being able to mix up the series in certain ways. I like the fact that you meet a legendary in this game very early on and you don't get to see them till much later again. I like the fact that like this game does some like sudden plot shifts on you when you're not really expecting it to happen. All in all, I've just found the experience of playing Pokemon Sword to be a much more fun experience than I was expecting. I've rekindled my appreciation of the Pokemon series, and I think I may end up buying that expansion pass if I'm still interested in this game by the time those passes are released. But all in all, man, all I'm saying is to the people who have criticized this game, I've heard some of the criticisms. A lot of it seems to be people who haven't played a Pokemon game in like 10 years, and now because they have a Switch, which is their first, like, either their first Nintendo console in a while or their first Nintendo console that's also a portable console and thus has a Pokemon game on it. Um, with that considered, it's like they bought the Pokemon Sword or Shield, like hoping that, to me, it's like if you haven't appreciated this series in 10 plus years or given a game a try in this series in 10 plus years, you're probably just not that big of a fan of Pokemon. You probably haven't really developed that part of your brain that's like into Pokemon and memorizes the different Pokemon and the different types and abilities and all those sort of things and the traits of every Pokemon and the sounds of their cries and all that stuff, which is kind of integral to the experience of a Pokemon game. It's like, let me put it like this. In in a hopefully a year's time or less, I'm gonna be hopeful and optimistic here. We're gonna have Shin Megami Tensei 5 come out. Dear God, please. Dear YHVH, please. Can we get some Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming? But, yeah. When that game comes out, of course, in terms of like actual game design, in terms of making a difficult, challenging game, in terms of making like a thought provoking story, all those aspects, of course, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is going to end up being probably the better game about catching monsters and collecting and battling monsters, all in all. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy what Pokemon is, or you can't appreciate Pokemon for the merits that it has. Just the creativity in the monster designs, the originality, just the character and the personality of the world, different locales and places, the music. Oh man, the music in this game is pretty kino at times. The music at times is just like, it's really nice rhythmic bass guitar sounds. One of my favorite Pokemon soundtracks in years, definitely. Um, I don't know what else to say. Like, all I can say is that I've heard a lot of the criticisms of this game. All in all, I understand why Pokemon Sword might not be for everybody, but I think if you at all are like a fan of this, like if you've played a Pokemon game like the last 10 years or so and you enjoyed it, give Pokemon Sword and Shield a chance. Like, don't just listen to detractors. The game ended up being much more enjoyable than I think I was definitely expecting it. I gave the game a chance because it's Pokemon on a home console. I've wanted this since I was a little kid. It's finally here. I gave it a try. But, yeah, like, it, I was really so much hoping that, like, the whole series would change. It would be a Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey style reinvention of the series. And while there's certain, things added, Wild Area, Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing, all these different aspects of the game, Pokemon Camp that were not in the older games, I wouldn't call it a reinvention. It's mostly still very similar to the core Pokemon games of before in the most core aspects, but ended up enjoying the game much more than I thought I would. And I guess what it really boils down to is how much do you like Pokemon? The the whole series, the monsters. How many Pokemon do you think you can name off the top of your head? You know what I mean? I think when you consider these things, it's just your mileage might vary kind of thing, but overall I think if you like Pokemon at all, the series, then you're probably going to end up having a good time with Pokemon Sword. I would say forget about the controversy surrounding this game. Just give it a shot. If it's for you, great. You're probably going to have a great time. If not, well, I don't know. I guess you could sell the game or something like that. Or give it to someone else. But yeah, anyways, I'm Mike Muhammad. That's just my little defense of Pokemon Sword and Shield, why I think it ended up being a much more enjoyable experience for me than I expected. And yeah, pretty much, um, I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest because I've also seen criticisms of the expansion pass. To me, it seems like substantial content even in this expansion pass for like 100 new Pokemon in each region. I guess it's a wild area. It seems to have gyms and stuff going on, new legendaries, temples. It seems like a lot of stuff that arguably could have been in the full game, but like overall, I'm not mad at it. A new wild area that has like different stuff going on. I'll give it a shot. It might end up being really well made overall. Now that the core aspects of the game are in place, they can focus on things like level design and map design and things like that. So yeah, overall, I might just end up getting the expansion, but we'll see. I'm Mike Muhammad, and thanks for watching. And check out my channel for more gaming videos like this. And I'll see you guys next time.